trained and certified healthcare practitioners who may legally give medications include physicians, physician assistants, paramedics, medical office assistants, practical, vocational, and registered nurses, and other allied health specialists such as respiratory therapists. Physicians, physician assistants, paramedics, medical office assistants, practical, vocational, and registered nurses, and other allied health specialists such as respiratory therapists. Who can write prescriptions? Dentists, physicians, physician assistants, veterinarians, nurse practitioners, and registered pharmacist and optometrist. Drugs ruled illegal to purchase without prescription include those that need controlled because they are addictive and tend to be abused and dangerous, those that may cause dangerous health threats from side effects if taken incorrectly. Drug standards. Rules set to assure consumers that they get what they pay for. The law says that all preparations called by the same drug name must be uniform strength, quality and purity. 1906 Pure Food and Drug Act. (1938) Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act and Amendments of 1951 and 1962. Food and Drug Administration under the Department of Health and Human Services. 1938 Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act and Amendments of 1951 and 1962. Food and Drug Administration under the Department of Health and Human Services. (1938) Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act and Amendments of 1951 and 1962. All labels must be accurate and must include a listing of all active and inactive ingredients. 1938 Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act and Amendments of 1951 and 1962. All labels must be accurate and must include a listing of all active and inactive ingredients. 1938 Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act. All new products must be approved by the FDA before public release. 1938 Federal. Warning labels must be present on certain preparations, for example may cause drowsiness. 1938 Federal Food. Certain drugs must be labeled with the legend caution. Federal law prohibits dispensing without a prescription. 1938 Prescription and non-prescription drugs must be shown to be effective as well as safe. Drug Enforcement and Administration. Demanded security of controlled substances. DEA regulates the number of times a drug can be prescribed in a 6-month period. Drug manufacturers must also be registered with their own DEA numbers, as must pharmacists, physicians, veterinarians. What scheduled drug is most dangerous? Level I, C1. Least schedule number. Level 5, C5. May be refilled up to 5 times in 6 months. Schedule 3, 4, 5 CIV, CV. Written prescription only. CII. CI. Not approved for medical use in the United States. Food and Drug Administration. Oversees testing of all proposed new drugs before they are released. Food and Drug Administration. Inspecting plants where foods, drugs, medical devices or cosmetics are made. Food and Drug Administration. Food and Drug Administration. Review new drug applications and petitions for food additives. Investigating and removing unsafe drugs from the market. Food and Drug Administration. Ensuring proper labeling of foods, cosmetics and drugs. FDA General Safety Standards. Responsible for approval and removal of products on the market. DEA. Concerned with controlled substances only. DEA. Enforces laws against drug activities, including illegal use, dealing, and manufacturing. DEA. Monitors need for changing the schedules of abused drugs. Healthcare practitioner involved in dispensing medications. Keep a current drug reference book available at all times. Healthcare practitioner involved in dispensing medications. Keep controlled substances locked securely. Healthcare practitioner involved in dispensing medication. Conceal and secure prescription pads. Healthcare practitioner. Keep accurate records of each controlled substance dispensed, received or destroyed for 2 years. The first major U.S. drug law was passed in what year? 1906. The first major U.S. drug law was called Pure Food and Drug Act, USP. United States Pharmacopoeia, NF. National Formulary. Which drug law established the USP and NF? (1906) Pure Food and Drug Act. What is the agency that has you keep a record for each controlled substance transaction? DEA. Which prescriptions can be called into healthcare practitioner? CIV, CV. How long must you keep an inventory record of controlled substances? 2 years. 3 responsibilities of the FDA. Oversees testing of all proposed new drugs before they are released on the market. Inspect plants where foods, drugs, medical devices or cosmetics are made. Review new drug applications and petitions for food additive. What type of drugs are CV? Cough suppressants. What method is recommended for securing the controlled substances in an office? Double locking. If a patient calls to request a refill for Percocet prescription, how do you reply? Please come into office for an office visit. Dawn Vasquez has a rare disease that requires medication for only a small population of patients. Which act has allowed her drug to be produced even though it is not profitable to the pharmaceutical industry? Orphan Drug Act. Pharmacology. The study of drugs and their origin, nature, properties, and effects on living organisms. Classifications. Each drug can be categorized under a broad subcategory or subcategories. Generic name. Initial lowercase letter never capitalized. Generic name. Initial lowercase letter never capitalized. Trade name. Capitalized first letter and registered trademark. Chemical name. A long, very difficult name to pronounce. Official name. Name how it appears in the official reference, generally same as generic name. After a drug is produced by a company for the market. Generic name is also assigned. Trade names. More expensive. Specific provisions of drug substitution laws. Vary from state to state. Many products are combinations of several generic components. Trade names may include a number. Not consulting the patient's chart for history of allergies before a new medication is given. OTC, over-the-counter, legend drug, prescription drug, controlled substance, danger of addiction or abuse. Contraindications, a list of conditions for which the drug should not be given. Cautions, a list of conditions or types of patients that warrant closer observation to side effects when given the drug. Side effect and adverse reactions, a list of possible unpleasant or dangerous secondary effects other than desired effect. Ototoxicity, causes damage to the 8th cranial nerve resulting in impaired hearing or ringing ears. Nephrotoxicity, causes damage to the kidneys resulting in impaired kidney function. Photosensitivity, an increased reaction to sunlight with the danger of intense sunburn. Interactions, a list of other drugs or food that alters the effect of the drug and usually should not be given during the same course of therapy. Interactions, a list of other drugs or food that alters the effect of the drug and usually should not be given during the same course of therapy. Interactions, how supplied and usual dosage. The physician's desk reference, one of the most widely used references for drugs in current use. The physician's desk reference. Other drug references. The pill book. Using internet as reference. Check the source. Check the date of articles, not necessarily valid. List of conditions for which a drug is to be used. Indication. Subcategories of drugs based on their effects on the body. Classifications. Description of the cellular changes that occur as a result of a drug. Actions. Conditions for which a drug should not be given. Contraindications. List 3 drug references. Internet PDROs.